Well, I guess I better start. Well, I guess I better start calling my podcast episodes because that's what they are. And I'm thinking about inspiring people through music or inspiring people through personal and professional development. What's the biggest takeaway or what's my preference? Because as the deliverer, sometimes, you can get caught up in what you're doing or how impactful you want to be or how impactful you can be. And to be honest, no matter what I'm doing, I want to be impactful, but I always realize that there are other approaches that may be more influential and other approaches that may be, how would I say, more significant in certain ways. Depends on who the listener is, because everyone wants to be good at something. Everyone needs something. And if you have a need, who's filling your need? Now, for myself, I know it probably depends on a couple of things. It depends on the topic, and it also depends on who the listener is. Why would they want to hear me? Why would they take my advice or learn from my experience? And I think the truth of the matter is, I'll just try to look at it in a side by side basis. As it comes to personal development and professional development, I have gone through a lot of things. And the reason why I lend myself in those areas is because I know people that want to be better as individuals. They want to be better in their business. There's certain nuances that they have to understand of how things work. And if you are coming from that specific space, they will get the message. Now, do they like my tone, my approach, my vocabulary, my whatever, right? My essence? Some will and some won't. If you're in my age range, you might. If you've done those things that I've done, you've had those shortcomings that I've experienced, you might. But if those two things don't line up, the demographic and the actual experience, you may not care one way or another. Now, as it relates to the music, it's almost the same thing. When I think about it, because of what I've gone through, if you're my age range and you're hearing my music, you may say, oh, I can dig that, or I like that because he's practically the same age as I am, or he's coming from the same place I've come from. And again, if the experiences that I share, the challenges, the negative experiences that I've had, if those things hit you, again, you might say to yourself, wow, if he's come through that and he's able to do music in a certain way, I respect that, or I like that, or I can relate to that. And I think that's so realistic as well, because a lot of times when we go through certain things, we hang our hat up on moving forward. It's like, woo, got through that. That may no longer be a part of my life, but you know what? I'm cool. I'm just going to chill from now on. And I'm just not that person that wants to just chill because I've gotten over a situation or I'm better as coming through a situation. The truth of the matter is, because I've come through a certain situation, I want to know if I can still do the thing, whatever it is, music, the personal development, the writing, the books. Can I still compete? And I'm my own biggest competitor. It's not about competing with the greats, but if the saying is true, to thine own self be true, you're really competing with yourself, in my opinion, in most cases. And if you're competing with yourself, what else do you have to offer? Whether it's music or the personal development, the professional development, what else can you do? Who else can you help? Who else can you inspire through your music or through your personal development? And I know for some, that might be a big ask, but the way I'm seeing it, and as I'm thinking about it, we all get 24 hours. I don't sleep 8 hours a day, but let's say I sleep 8 hours. So, in the course of a 16-hour day, for a retired man that has various experiences, a man that has experienced various talents, and capabilities, what are you going to do with those other 16 hours? Is it going to just be a blank, or you're sitting around watching television? Or are you going to live life? Are you going to do some things that maybe make a difference to someone else, that can help someone else, that can entertain someone else, inspire someone else? And that's pretty much the space that I'm coming from. I want to be able to do. I want to matter. I want to have a legacy that stands for something, even though I don't feel like my family gets it or sees the benefit in me doing some of these things. This is all I've ever done in my life. Music, singing, writing poetry, right? Acting. These things matter to me. And if no one watches it, it improves my own personal quality of life. If no one likes it, it improves my own personal quality of life. You see, in my opinion, when you're born with certain gifts and talents, even if you don't discover them until late, what are you going to do about it and with them? Do you just sit on them and take them to the grave? Like to say, Dr. Miles Monroe said there are millions and millions of books and inventions all in the graveyard because no one had the nerve to step out on faith and exercise it. No one had the nerve to step out on faith and display it, demonstrate it. I can't be that person. I really believe in what I do. I get excited about it. It's great to have sponsors, and I've had sponsors for certain things I've done over the years, but it's not about the sponsors for me. It's about me being willing to invest in myself, whether people think it's a good move or not, doesn't matter to me. The point is, this is who I am. This is how I am. This is what I'm about. And I'm not going to say either you get on board or you get ran over like a freight train, but I'm going to say either you get on board or you don't. You get left. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way, but if I'm waiting for everyone to get on board, where am I going to be? Stuck at the station? You know the rest. Thanks, guys. See you next time.